right, what's up? It's Paul Weaver with the Freelance Photographer, and here we are on set with Eric Wittman, the CEO of VSCO, which is kind of funny because I now work under you, and we work together, but I'm working under you. We work together.
Most importantly.
But I'm super excited to have you on because I want to go back 4 years ago, right out of the gate. Let's get into the meat of it. You took over as CEO of VSCO, and I feel like VSCO has been on this new journey ever since. When we first connected a little over a year ago, I shared with you my VSCO story. I'm from Minneapolis. I used to edit with VSCO presets. I went from shooting portraits, weddings, sometimes kids' birthday parties, to getting into commercial.
Yeah.
And the only way that I was able to figure out how to navigate that space from a creative tools POV was the support of VSCO. But let's get into that a little bit. Like, how were you introduced to VSCO? And let's talk about that.
No, I mean, first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
So happy to be here, sitting down and actually talking to you again.
It's awesome.
I always fondly remember the first time you and I met
awesome.
In person in Miami, having breakfast together. So that was amazing. So I love doing this with you. Yeah, I mean, 4 years ago, wow, that was a long time ago. I mean, look, I feel very blessed to be here working at VSCO, working with amazing people like you. I mean, Joel and Greg, who are the co-founders of VSCO, you know, they came to me and they said, look, we've been running VSCO for the last 10 years and we need someone else to come in, help really rethink what the next 10 years of VSCO is going to look like. And, you know, with that, you know, when you're taking over someone's baby, right, it's like, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that.
For sure.
And VSCO is a beloved, cherished brand in the creative community, and I don't want to screw that up, right?
No,
I mean, that's you want to take that goodness.
Totally.
And
you ask
then,
any photographer on the street, have you heard of VSCO? They're going to say yes.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's sometimes it's nostalgic.
For sure.
And that was what I was really trying to figure out. I was like, okay, a lot of love for the brand, maybe not so much usage anymore. And why? Like, what were the reasons?
Wow.
And so I saw a tremendous opportunity, and also just a tremendous need. And like, there's a gap today. There weren't, especially back then, there weren't a lot of companies out there that were really saying, we see you. We see you, whether you're a professional photographer or someone who aspires to be a professional photographer someday. Not a lot of companies that have your back. In fact, over the years, more and more companies were just taking advantage of those people.
Yeah.
So for us, going back to our roots, Joel and Greg as creators and photographers themselves, it was how do we support that essence of who they were 10, 15 years ago so that that next generation can feel supported. They can be seen. They can hone and create like the craft of who they are, their creative identity.
That's amazing.
And then how do we help them on that journey to be a successful professional photographer?
Wow.
And that's what I kind of saw when I was at VSCO. I was like, here's all this goodness, but also here's where VSCO is not supporting people in that journey.
Totally. I'm so curious then, like, for someone that's probably watching this, they're like, where were you before VSCO? Not to like go backwards, but what influence or what inspired you to focus on the photographer first?
Yeah.
Because like you said, VSCO, even looking back at like the history of VSCO, it at one point in time, it was a thing where it was one of the top Google searches. That's crazy.
Totally.
So you obviously had some sort of user experience with VSCO back in the day, but like, where was that, when that baton was passed for you to join VSCO, what influenced that? Or like, where did you come from?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm deeply connected to the creative community.
You're right. You told me you have a Leica camera. You love going to the in-person events.
I love it. I mean, I just feel like being in that creative community and participating and helping each other out, like being a creative, as you know, it can be a very lonely place. And having the community that has your back, that supports you when you most need it, is incredibly important. And so I've been, working in building companies to help support creatives for a long time. I won't put a number next to it, but it's been a long time. It's measured in decades at this point. And so for me, coming to VSCO was kind of a dream opportunity.
Wow.
Honestly. I mean, if I were to like go create my own company, it would be a company like VSCO.
Wow.
But in this case, VSCO already existed. Joel and Greg were ready to pass the baton off, and I said, "This is a dream. I'm gonna take this so I can support folks." So it has been a long time. It's deeply ingrained, like at a personal level for me. And you know, I do just firmly believe that in this moment, where there's a lot of demand and a lot of needs for photographers and content that's coming from the creative community, like now more than ever before.
Oh my gosh.
The content needs are there, and and feel this every day.
Totally.
But there's a gap.
Yeah.
There's a big gap that exists, and I think a lot of people, they sit at this inflection point. Like, oof, I'm creative. I gotta look. I'm actually pretty good. Maybe I'm doing some side gigs already. But like, how do I make that transition to being a full-time pro?
For sure.
And there's just a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of lack of information and education. So people don't know, how do I get through that inflection point?
Exactly.
Most people don't.
No.
Most people don't like bet on themselves.
Exactly.
Or bet on that thing. And it's sad. So seeing that, it's like, that's a massive gap.
Yeah. I love when people step into like, hey, I'm here to help further amplify this opportunity. Versus, yeah, someone's going to fix it. Because you saw an opportunity and hey, I think that there's a huge opportunity here to double down on the creator, not only on the creative side, but also the business side. And one thing that I love to say under the Freelance Photographer is now is the best time to be a photographer. Now, brands are looking to hire photographers directly more now than ever. I think there's a lot of hobbyists that are going from hobbyist to aspiring to full-time very quickly. And I think it's because of the resources that VSCO provides. And then another thing that I love about the community aspect is community over competition. I think there's a lot of photographers that probably you and I have met where they're like, yeah, the industry is really gatekeepy. There's a lot of competition, but VSCO, just being on VSCO's platform and meeting other VSCO users, I think there's a lot of overlap with the Freelance Photographer where people are like, no, I connected with my best friend on the app.
Yes.
Or no, the industry isn't gatekeepy. We're now discussing things like pricing and like how we were able to achieve a specific look, which I think is super cool.
Yes, I agree. I do think, and maybe sometimes it takes a new generation, but what has historically been a very opaque, gatekeeping type of industry is now, I think people are realizing there's enough work to go around. In fact, what I hear a lot from brands or even just people that are looking for photographers is it's still hard to find.
Yeah.
And, the more we can work together to enable those folks to, construct that portfolio so they get discovered, so that they understand like, hey, what is it like to really manage a client and like truly show up in a way for that client that makes them want to refer me to other people or makes them want to come back and do repeat business. Like there are a lot of skills there that need to be developed and people need to learn. And you don't just because you're good at shooting doesn't mean that like you're going to do a good job at the work or do a good job at building a long-term sustainable business. And that's where I think in this moment, like you said, there's a lot of resources available for folks. Many of them are being provided by VSCO now, which is awesome, especially bringing you all on board.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of work to be done.
100%.
Like we're not there yet.
Yeah.
And we've got literally tens of millions of people out there who need our collective help.
Not to brag on just VSCO and TFP, but it's like there's such a big focus group.
Yes.
So getting that survey data and hearing what are the biggest pain points, just in all the different seasons of freelancing or all the different seasons of photography. I look back and I used to have a Canon T2i, my dad's camera, built-in flash. I'd go to concerts in Minneapolis and I would try to figure out how to use the thing. Looking back at it, I love that season because I was really trying to figure out like how to navigate ISO, shutter speed, aperture. And I've seen photographers go through similar seasons. And it's cool when you have the creative tools and then also the business tools, because I always say it's easier to be creative. It's more difficult to be business minded.
100%.
And I meet a lot of photographers that are like, oh my gosh, like people want to pay me for my work. What do I do? And I'm like, you make them pay.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
But it's so weird because they didn't sign up for entrepreneurship.
No.
They signed up to use a camera because they're passionate about it.
Yes.
And I think what's so cool, even before coming into the picture, TFP and VSCO, is I saw this shift in the conversation with even like VSCO's website, VSCO's content on social, where there's almost this new pillar. And I want to dig into that for a second.
Yeah.
And it's the aspiring pro. And it's also trying to figure out how to bring together and have conversations that are creator led. Because it's one thing to learn from someone on YouTube, and it's another thing to actually learn from someone that's had a successful career.
Yes.
So I need you to touch on this because I think that is something that you've brought into the picture within the last few years. And you might just be like, I'm just passionate.
Yeah.
But like, can you put a finger on that?
Yeah, I think we've been very intentional. And again, 4 years ago, we sat down and we said, look, a lot of unmet needs around just support for people being successful.
Wow.
Like we were, internally we have this mission, which is like we want to nurture creativity so that people can make it. And making it isn't just about the art of making the thing, the whatever it is, the photo, the video, the artwork. It's also about making a living financially from those creative skills.
Wow.
And when we thought about that, then we took a step back and said, okay, well, VSCO is known for its presets. We're building these tools, but what else do people need? And it was like, oh my gosh, the laundry list of things that we had to work on was just like years and years and years in the making.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally, we charted the next 10 years of the company.
Wow.
And so, but we wanted to start. So the first thing we had to do is like, let's take a look at our community.
Wow.
And who do we know in this community who started on VSCO, literally with just the app on the phone and, iPhone 3G or iPhone 5, like they're just playing around, right? Really throwback. And they're just, you can watch the evolution of these people. And then you see like, oh, well, here's where someone reached out to me on VSCO to work a gig, or I needed to be a second shooter for a wedding,
Cool.
And so people increasingly were finding others on VSCO.
It became a collaborative environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I know there was a moment where like VSCO sort of had this, it was a cultural phenomenon, as you mentioned, like, the VSCO Girl moment. And we recognized that was a moment, that was a season.
Shout out to that moment.
Hey, look, exactly. I think it was very empowering
Yeah.
for literally tens, if not hundreds of millions of people on the planet. It also in some cases held the company back.
Yeah.
Right. And so what we're doing now.
You're like, I thought our target consumer was this. And then it started shifting a little bit.
Yes. I mean, back then it was like, it was consumer.
Yeah.
It was very consumer focused. But, what we did is we sort of lost sight of this other form of empowerment, which is around helping people, grow as professionals.
Yeah.
And so, we've been going back to that and we've been very intentional. Like I said, going back to our community, finding out from them, what were those moments that help you graduate, that that inflection point that you were at? Like, how did you burst through that?
Yeah.
What did it take?
Wow.
How can VSCO help? Is it about community? Is it about introducing you to other people? Is it about helping people discover you and your work, like through VSCO Hub, which is this amazing visual search engine for finding, like what I like to say are the world's best photographers on VSCO? Or, is it about creating that portfolio for the first time and just getting it out there and making it super easy to do, like what we do with sites. So these are all these different building blocks that we are constantly going back to the photographers, the creators who are trying to burst through that inflection point. And then what are the things that you need? And we are very intentionally building brick by brick by brick by brick, whether it's a product, whether it's a moment like where we're sitting today, like, hey, we're getting a group of a couple hundred people together who are going to listen to some of these very amazing, accomplished photographers and hear their stories and learn from them. Like, VSCO is going to keep creating those things to better support people so they can graduate themselves.
I love that. And it's so cool because within the last 6 months, I became a VSCO employee.
Thank you.
Running the Freelance Photographer.
We love having you here.
It's amazing. And I've seen like, all right, pain point photographers with websites. let's create VSCO sites.
Yes.
And it's like, that's what I love is when people are proactive. I think so often photographers that I meet, they're like, yo, I'm sick and tired of having this massive tech stack. And I was just telling someone the other day that VSCO is creating this ecosystem, and they already have. And I'm so pumped to be a part of it. And maybe let's shift gears a little bit, because this is my first time seeing you since San Francisco.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
But to back up even more so, in November of last year, we met for the first time, had breakfast together. And I bring this up because that it sounds like the conversation that you had with Greg and
Joel. Yeah.
Joel
Yeah.
was the synergy around like, wait, we actually have similar values. And we also feel the same way around how we can come around the photographer and cheer them on, support them, but also like introduce them to others. Like, hey, go meet these other photographers that are doing their thing.
Yes.
And I just want to say I'm thankful for that email, because I'm chilling at Lifetime Fitness in Minnesota, or in Miami, where I'm based out of. And I'm like, I think I got a support email from Eric Wittman. Swear to God. I'm like, my wife has the VSCO app. Maybe she like didn't pay. So Eric's sending like a,
some automated email that comes through, right? Yeah. No.
And
It
then
was
I'm like,
legitimately me. It was no one else.
and then I'm like responding saying like, hey, we can hop on a Zoom call, and I got a double email, and you're like, I'm actually in Miami for Art Basel because VSCO was popping up at Art Basel.
Yeah.
That was such a cool moment, because it went from, I think within 48 hours, an email to breakfast on Miami Beach.
Yes.
And we were connecting over all these things, like your wife's from the Midwest, I'm from Minnesota. But more and more as we got into it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is the missing puzzle piece for the freelance photographer. And then I kind of flipped the frame, and I'm like, I feel like this is the missing piece for VSCO in this category that we're talking about, trying to help the aspiring pro go all in, working with brands, working commercially. But yeah, I just think that moment too was just like, I think that it seemed like 3 years ago, maybe, because we run really fast at VSCO.
Yeah, exactly. There's internet, there's the dog years, right? Like,
For sure.
I think we're running the dog years right now, but
Yeah.
I mean, look, first of all, for us, we knew that this was a big gap. And I was on the lookout for someone like you, like not only just the freelance photographer as a company, as a platform, but you as an individual.
Wow.
Because we as at VSCO have been very intentional about the type of company we want to build, the culture, like you said, the values, the principles. I mean, these are things that have been with VSCO since day one. And we're just enriching those. We're just building on those. And we want to build an amazing long-term company to support photographers, to support creatives, like tens of millions of people. I was thinking about like, what is success for VSCO? If we can increase the GDP of the photography business, the photography, like, fantastic.
Let's turn up those statistics a little bit. That's
absolutely.
Awesome.
It helps everyone.
For sure.
It helps everyone.
Wow.
And so, you were definitely a missing piece. And I'm very thankful for the universe. I feel like there's a little serendipity. It was like, it just so happened that Freelance Photographer came up, I think one of our product managers, Kyle, brought it up in a Slack channel.
Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. I think it was literally like the week before. And I was just looking you up. I was looking at other, companies, and I was like, oh no, there's something clearly special here. And just reading about people who went through the program and who you were as an individual, I was like, I gotta meet this guy. I'm not gonna say no. I could go to your house. If I gotta like make breakfast for you and the fam, I'm in.
Sounds
Let's
like
figure it out.
Football coach.
Yeah.
Wanted me to play football.
Exactly. I feel like I was recruiting, right? I'm like, let's go.
That's awesome.
But in this case, you didn't. You came. We had a lovely breakfast.
Yeah.
I was really grateful because it was supposed to be an hour. Like, hey, TikTok, we got a lot going on. Both you and I are busy. I think we were there for like 2.5 hours.
Amazing.
And I walked away and I was texting people. I was like, I think I found our person.
Wow, that's cool.
So
yeah, I love that you said that you're all about finding the gap and like figuring out how to fill that gap.
Yes.
And I think that's where I see a lot of creative tools for the photographer and the videographer over the years not miss the mark. It's just their attention is elsewhere. And that's what I so much appreciated is, the freelance photographer is a place where a photographer can come and make money with their camera, and they're going to learn all the business jargon from pitching, pricing to client experience. And there's so much overlap in core values. And that was the light bulb moment for me is I'm like, I could do this on my own and probably get burnt out year after year, or I could join forces with VSCO and we could be better together.
Yes.
And I think that's how I explain it to people is there's things that VSCO's obviously working on that I can't bring up yet that I'm just like, I can't wait for this. But from VSCO Workspace to VSCO Canvas, these are tools that I'm using as an active commercial photographer still. And when I share like VSCO Canvas mood boards with my clients, they're like, hold up, you're telling me I can comment and collaborate?
Yes.
Things that they couldn't do on other platforms.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to call out this moment because I think it's been July is when the acquisition happened. I'm bad at math, but like it's only been 3 months.
No, I know, right?
And within those 3 months, it's been so cool to hear from people in my audience, as in people that have been around the freelance photographer for quite some time, that they've been users of VSCO for a long time and that they've enjoyed all the tools. And then I'm getting now introduced to people in the VSCO ecosystem and I'm just mind blown. I'm like, this photographer, like Joe Greer, for example, what if we pulled you into a workshop and you showed people how you worked with Bandit Running? And he's like, I'm down. And what's cool about that is not every single photographer out there that I see that has ties with a brand like VSCO is open enough to share and be transparent and be vulnerable.
Yes.
And that's kind of my appreciation for you and also others at the company is all ideas are welcome. And it really hits home when I'm like, hey, we've been supporting the photographer in the business side all this time. And now we can support the photographer in the business side and the creative side and more because of VSCO.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's the full life cycle, right? You think about what is it that people need in order to be successful. The past with VSCO was mostly about the creative tools and the community to some degree. But I think lately we've been much more intentional on everything that you need, right? Yes, it's about creative tooling from ideation, like with VSCO Canvas, to the presets, to now the new AI tools with AI Lab that we have, through the community. And it really is about community, right? We're not trying to be a social network. We really want this to be a healthy, trusted, supportive community. Not only just on VSCO itself, on the platform itself, but in real life too.
For sure.
I mean, we're doing all these photo walks now. And people are like, it's about time.
I just went to one in Miami.
Oh, how was the one in Miami? Do you like it?
It was insane.
Oh, great. Cool.
Absolutely insane. I just saw the recap video that's about to go out.
Oh, nice.
And the amount of people that I met that I didn't know prior, and I've been in Miami for 4 years, but I'm realizing the creative industry is not as big as you think it would be for a big city.
Yeah.
There was easily 30 people there.
Awesome.
And the amount of like connections, networking, and then also people were like cross-collaborating, like, hey, we should hop on a future project together, stuff like that.
This is exactly what we want, right? We want that intentionality. Like in some cases, it's just like, hey, peers getting together. In some cases, it's, wow, you've been doing this for a long time. Now it's a mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah.
If we can facilitate more of that. And it's good vibes, man.
So good.
It's good vibes, supportive. Like we all know the world needs a lot more of the good vibes going, and that's what we're also trying to do very intentionally. And, I want to go back to like something you said, you use the word ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I think, when you think of an ecosystem, it's like, it's all of the things that work together, they evolve together, they support each other. And that is it. Like it is that ecosystem that doesn't exist for photographers today. It really doesn't. Or it does in pieces and people have to like pull those things together themselves. And it's very difficult. And it can be very expensive.
For sure. And
you can get into a lot of trouble too. We're trying to like make it very simple for a lot of people. Right?
Let me dumb this down a bit. Living in Miami, I see palm trees everywhere. And when a palm tree is planted, it has these 4 wood planks that help hold it up.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And they put 4 wood planks around it and they wrap it. And after like a couple months, they remove the wood planks and the palm tree has grown like vertically down deep enough so that it can weather any storm. And in the season of just even the freelance photographer and now with VSCO, that's how I feel, is the photographer is the palm tree, and it's got the support system. Like one pillar might be community. One pillar might be like, hey, we got you on the creative tools side. One is going to be on like the CRM side. The other is going to be like, hey, we got you on the business side.
Yes.
And with all those things, you're going to succeed. And I say that because I've seen so many photographers give up. I've seen so many photographers so crazy talented, crazy portfolio, but $0 in their bank account. And I'm like, the more I pick, the more I see lacked community, which felt lonely. Didn't understand the business side. So was undercharging, didn't understand usage and licensing, which Josh at VSCO, Josh Helm, who runs all things brand, right?
Yeah.
He just told me the amount of money they give out to VSCO creators each year, paying them for licensed images.
Yes. It's
And
tens of thousands of dollars.
It's insane.
They spend a lot.
So it's like VSCO's already teaching people how to do usage and licensing. But I bring that up because I feel like going forward, that's the image that I have in my head. Is you meet a photographer, hey, you know, obviously like shooting, nice camera. Is this a full-time thing? I really want it to be. What's holding you back? Come into the picture.
Yes.
So that's cool that invitation can happen.
Yeah. Palm tree poetry. I love it. I'm going to borrow that story. No, but I mean, San Francisco, I guess we have some palm trees, but they're all in the fog. So I have no idea.
Are you going to Portugal soon?
This is also true. Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
You can take the palm tree analogy. You could put a picture up there and even like draw out the.
Yes. I might, again, like not many palm trees in San Francisco.
No.
I might need you to take some pictures of some palm trees. And
we could probably
use that for the
we could probably license some from the.
I would love to do that.
I want to, let's bring this now to, let's shift gears and talk about just looking ahead. There's a lot of things going on in the creator economy. There's a lot of uncertainty with AI, which I don't think we need to get too much into. But I do have to say, like, looking forward, as in over the next year, 2 or 3, what are some things that you're thinking about?
I mean, very much continuing to think about the full life cycle of the photographer.
Wow.
Right? And what are the different things that they need in order to get exposure, find work, be able to better manage the business that they're just starting up. I think, you mentioned AI, and I think it's important to call out AI for us. I mean, we very much are big believers in this being a human-centered approach. But AI can assist. And AI, like, it can take away some of the mundane tasks that people are doing that really they shouldn't be doing.
It'll help you streamline whatever you're doing.
Whatever you're doing,
100%.
right? Whether it's batch processing images to, hey, help me build a better portfolio so that I can find more, portrait work, I can find more commercial product work, to, oh my gosh, I forgot to send out that invoice to a customer.
Totally.
It was 6 months ago. Automate that. Or, hey, it's another year. We know it's holiday.
Generating an image for like a storyboard or a mood board.
Exactly.
Something that you might not be able to find online.
Exactly. All of those elements are things that we can help support.
Wow.
Not replace the photographer and the creative.
That's awesome.
So for us, that is very much the future. I mean, AI as a supporter, as a, someone who's helping you out in the studio. Not as a replacement. So I think that's a really important thing. We are also just paying a lot more attention to, hey, where's the business shifting, right? So you see things like AI, for example, is clearly affecting the stock photography business.
For sure.
And you've got some folks who have been making a living with stock photography. Okay, what's next? How do you take those skills and reapply them to something else? That's where, again, education, community is really important.
Everything.
How do we help redirect people? Because we see there are really big content gaps and needs. I mean, big brands, agencies, clients who are like, hey, I really want a high quality photo of XYZ. Or I want to be able to do a campaign around this subject matter. And they can't find the talent or they can't find 100%. The content. The gaps are there. It's not like the gaps suddenly have gone away. I mean, the need for content is just exploding. So how can we help fill some of those gaps and bring those two parties together, the potential clients and the photographers and the creatives? How do we more intentionally bring them together?
I like that you said now more than ever, you need to like be in community. If you feel like AI is a threat, that's why we need to be surrounded with other working and also just aspiring photographers.
Absolutely.
Because like you said it, stock photography, yes. But people that are shooting like e-commerce, still product life without any human interaction. Now, I think a proactive approach is shoot product lifestyle.
Yes.
Because what we learned about just the last couple of years with UGC content, brands are running ads that are shot on iPhone or less polished, still shot professionally, but like less polished, is that consumers are purchasing off of ads that they can relate with.
Yes.
There's like a real thing. People buy from people.
100%.
So I think looking at it through that lens is so healthy, but also that AI is going to assist you in bettering your business or bettering your craft.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like super pumped to see like where things go. And also I'm pumped about some of the things that VSCO's working on. It's awesome.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad, and I'm pumped about all the things that we're going to work on together too. Like
Heck
that's where this symbiotic relationship that we have is so incredibly important. I mean, we're bringing these two communities together. We're going to enhance each other. And honestly, I get back to like, why are we here? What are we trying to do?
Yeah.
I mean, we want to be this place where the photographer, the aspiring pro photographer can turn pro.
Wow.
And that mission that you and I are on together, it's incredibly fulfilling, but I think it's a good North Star because it's just going to be, it's going to take us a long time to get there.
For sure.
It's possible though.
For sure. Yeah. I'm thankful for like the fact that VSCO has built that platform and TFV's platform. When you put them together, it's like, okay, there's no uncertainty in my opinion. And even shout out to like VSCO, like everything with VSCO Workspace, something that I'm super pumped about because I personally have struggled with trying to find like a go-to CRM.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward, I love that. And I think photographers more than ever, they need a place where they can go versus 20 different places. Yeah. So I'm excited for everything that's ahead.
Yeah, totally.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, man.
Let's get it.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.